Hey there, everybody. It is September, forgot to check, I think 10th or 11th. I've just had a small tsunami. No, no, tsunami. Typhoon. And I'm not very awake. It's very early in the morning. It is still raining. Luckily, I am dry. But it must not be too much because it left all these things up last night. And this is basically a 2-month in review. Having a very good time here, enjoying myself quite a bit. I've gotten one Lucy carrot, which I bought new, and I picked this Lucy Carosa up secondhand off of another American who bought it and didn't like it. Only had 600 kilometers on it. Picked it up for about a third less than new. And it's been reasonably fine, other than a few things from it sitting for about a year and a half. Battery. Steering was bad. Right up here was practically completely seized from sitting. And of course I have to do this because of pussycats that seem to like in my dry space. I have gotten a puppy. Found out I'm not allowed to have a puppy here at this particular hotel. Not a hotel. It's a month to month. You have to pay. You have to sign a lease every month, and it says no puppies. But they have stepped up quite a bit with complaints. We just found we had a leaky roof in our what they call a maid's room, which we have turned into a small kitchenette because it's right off the back of the kitchen. Has its own window, and I can blow the air out the window. Of course, getting the air out the window was kind of fun because the standard 20-inch box fan you can get in the U.S. is not really available here. And finding a fan the right pull to pull the air out the window was a bit of a chore. And I was able to get 2 of them off of Lazada. Lazada is like Amazon, but Amazon's better. Many things on Lazada with shipping cost you way more than you could buy them from Amazon with shipping from Amazon. And unfortunately, Amazon also sends you substandard stuff here versus what you would get in the United States. And let me show you a quick example if I could do this without messing up my phone in the rain. This is reflective tape that I had brought with me. I had an entire roll of it, but unfortunately put it on here, drove home from my storage area, and it fell off. And I had to buy new stuff, which is this. And this is already trying to fall off. This is not .3, this is what they send you. And if you look at Amazon for this product, they do show you that label, but what it says, what you're going to get is .3. They don't tell you the mil thickness. The mil thickness of the stuff I showed you that was .3 is about 7 or 8 times the thickness of this. This is like paper. Okay. This is quite hard, like hard plastic. Okay. I've built trucks for many years. And trust me, that stuff I just showed you there, the better .3 will last for 20, 30 years. I use it on all sorts of things. I have a piece of it on the back of this phone, on the case, so that if I have to walk across a dark street at night and I'm not dressed well, I have something to let people see me. And I've been doing that. I've been making little business cards for people with two pieces stuck back to back, about the size of a credit card, so that you can keep it in your wallet. And if you break down somewhere at night, you pull it out and hold it in your hand. And you walk around pointing it at any car that drives in your direction. Because trust me, it'll be as bright as a flashlight. I learned this little trick while on guard duty in Germany, in No D Greens, walking around with a field radio, and had a Jeep almost run me over. Who was driving around with the special lights they put, I forget what they call them, blackout lights maybe, that are they just beam at the ground very lightly, so you can kind of see where you're going, but an airplane cannot see them. And there was no need for him to do this, but he decided to do this and almost ran me over. saw a broken piece of reflector on the ground, picked it up, started pointing it at every vehicle coming in my direction, and suddenly they were giving me 4 or 5 feet of clearance instead of 6 inches. So that's how this is a good idea. After 20 plus years of giving them away, I've had quite a few people come back and thank me for giving them one, because they had to walk somewhere in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, in dark clothing, and kept them from getting run over. And if you use 2 different colors, you can actually turn it in your hand and it looks like a strobe light, or like red, white, red, whatever colors you use. Use multiple colors. At any rate, I couldn't even get it. I don't know if I even looked at Lazada, but I ordered it through the US because I wanted good quality. And they sent me Chinese knockoff. I complained to Amazon. Amazon stepped up, let me keep it, paid me back for it, and gave me enough money to have it shipped free, because the original shipment, Amazon now is shipping things. If you buy enough stuff, you get free shipping. I originally had it shipped with a set of air horns, which I have this one, and I have also a set of air horns coming. This one that were shipped to California because at the time Amazon wasn't shipping them here at all. Same set of air horns, same company, just reordered the same thing. And they're on their way into an air freight Balamaya box with some other things on its way here. They should be here, hopefully. It just got shipped a week ago, and I'll put an update on how long the air freight box takes to get here. Also, as far as my shipment of boxes, I got all but one. That one had a very special little teacup in it, with a wooden crate, which I used wooden crates made by the Amish. There's one here. We're using it for the puppy now. That has my recliner in it. Trust me, if you can ship a recliner, go for it. It cost me 300 bucks. If the back comes off and folds down in there, it cost me 300 bucks to ship. Worth every penny, because you're not going to find a decent chair here. There's chairs that are somewhat tolerable, but without buying a bunch of pillows to throw all over them, they're not very comfortable. But that recliner has been a godsend. I have a bad back from a back injury 20 plus years ago picking up tar paper. And frankly, folks, when they say pick up with your legs and not your back, do it. I had an injured leg that particular day, and my other leg was already injured from something else, and ended up bear hugging rolls of tar paper and messed up my back. I can remember very clearly the single roll that I picked up and caused the pain, and ever since it has been an issue. And I literally have to walk around now with a back brace when I'm out walking around or driving around. In fact, this particular one had a bench seat. It went along this way, which is very square. And trust me, I grew up with the antique chairs that people used to make that were straight backed. And they thought that's how you're supposed to sit, good posture. But it is extremely bad for your back and painful. And this one was difficult, a little bit easier than the blue one was to drive, because it had a little bit more room for my butt to be further back. They're built for little people, and they don't even make this particular model. It's the same one that Bud Brown has, and needed a few alterations to make it more tolerable, and I did that. Removing that bench allowed me to slide my butt back some. This one as well I modified by sliding the bed back 4 inches, basically giving me the same thing. Now, I don't load mine like the Filipinos do. Damn it, wrong button again. This deep with cinder blocks, and had 4 springs, 2 on each side, removed from the 6 springs it has, back to 4, or down to 4, which is what the red one comes with. And the ride is much better, although the tires, I switched from the blue one to the red one. They're the same. They're actually the 4 tires that came with the blue one. I used 2 of them on the back of the red one in order to change the gear ratios, because the gears, the rears, the transmissions are the same. The only difference is the engine size is 25 cc's bigger on the red one, and it's water cooled. Doesn't seem to be much of a power difference, but it was screaming in 5th gear. When I checked the tires, it was 2 inches shorter in height. When you roll the tire on the ground, that added up to roughly 6 inches of travel, which swapping the tires did a perfect job re-gearing it. It drives the same as the blue one now and doesn't eat shitloads of gas, which has a very small fuel tank, about half the size of the blue one. A normal size, big, like Harley-like tank. The red one has a small internal tank under the front seat, which maybe it's 2 gallon. This blue one, it's like 3. They said 14 liters, but I actually ran out of gas in it the other day because I didn't realize I had the pitcock set to reserve. And suddenly ran out of gas right near Robinson's grocery store, or the supermarket, or no, I'm sorry, not Robinson's Mall in Dumaguete, and to suddenly push it off to the side. Luckily here in the Philippines, they don't seem to care if you show up with a little water bottle to get some fuel, and filled up a little tiny, like, I mean, a normal like 16 ounce, I don't know what it is in liters, plastic water bottle, which you never get gas in the US that way. I was able to walk back down and put the fuel in it and then turn around and get it back up and fuel it up. I've learned my lesson since not to trust what I thought was fuel consumption on my trip odometer. I had 140k and boop, empty. I thought I was getting better mileage than that, because it seemed like at 100k I was using 6 liters, and with a 14-liter tank I should have been fine, but for some reason it only went another 40. So obviously I haven't got my consumption rates confused. And anyhow, all in all, it's been an interesting time. Some of the oddball things you can't get here. Key rings. The key rings you get here are like the ones you go to a dealer and you drop off your car for the day and they put it on a little metal, useless little ring. That's about the best thing you can find here, and if you're lucky, I have stumbled across key rings that are on other items, like a decorative thing, and then there's a key ring on it, you know, the metal, normal metal of key ring, that is in reasonably decent quality, but still not very good quality. Luckily, the one Balamaya box I have coming, I asked him to throw in an assortment of key rings, so I should be good on that one. But it's just some of the oddball things you seem to not be able to get here that you would expect to find elsewhere. Many things are just as expensive as the US. The red one here is going to need a battery. That's pretty much within line of what it would cost me in the United States. Freaking alert just came in and turned off the video. An alert for the typhoon that's coming, but it's just basically heavy rain. Haven't been very badly windy. We were out last night driving, and I'm glad I had the reflective stickers, because I basically buried this thing in stickers, and they do work as far as reflectors, although about only 80% of the vehicles out there actually have headlights. Even pitch black, you'll see people coming with no lights at all. Be surprised if you see a reflector on somebody else's shit. I just decided, what the hell, I want to be a Christmas tree at night, whether they have, I plan on having more lights coming to add on to it. You'll see some of the pedicabs, which is what they're referring to, the trikes that give you rides, with shitloads of lighting on them. And I think that's primarily, it's only a few of them, maybe 1 in 1,000 of them has lights all over it, and it's, I assume, because the drivers want to be seen well. Most of them do not. They're rented by the drivers for the day by a company that owns them, and it's like the jeepneys, the same process. They rent the truck for the day and have to return it full of fuel, and I don't know, maybe unbroken, I don't know. All I know is I don't like them. They are uncomfortable. The drivers are unpredictable. Well, they do turn around on a dime. I used to have a 6-wheel ATV, and you can turn one of those pedicabs around in the same space as I could turn that 6-wheel ATV around. That being said, if you're passing one, the roof sticks back at least 1.5 to 2 feet from the rear tire. And if the guy cuts and turns, especially if you're coming along the driver's side and he turns right, that roof will swing out right into you. So be careful to give them at least 2 to 3 feet of clearance as you pass them if they're moving slowly, because he may just cut the wheel and over to the side. They're very unpredictable. They will stop. They see somebody and stop instantly. They don't wait. You don't get much signal. You rarely even get a brake light. Most of the time, if a turn signal is running, it's just done. They don't even know it. And nobody seems to pay any attention to them anyway, because I put a right turn signal on, I get past on the right. I put a left turn signal on, I get past on the left. I put backup lights on, people pull right up behind you. This lighting seems to be just sort of something that happens. Well, we got somebody yelling in the street out here. At any rate, that's basic review. I'm having a good time here. The rent here isn't too expensive, and the landlord has stepped up. I will not leave the name of the rental company because of the way that if you diss somebody here, or even say some good things about some people here, you could end up in trouble. Many other videos you have been watching, many things have been left out. Even the prices of some of the apartments and houses that you have seen are incorrect because they couldn't do the video otherwise. And I was warned not to be too specific about much. I've gotten some very good resources here. I'm good friends with Bud Brown. He's been really good. Pretty much what you see is what you get with Bud. Others, I don't know. I have been asked to be interviewed by Every Man Has a Story, but I haven't gotten around to that. My girlfriend, May, wishes to interview her, but it was supposed to be yesterday, and the typhoon came in, and that didn't happen. But I expect that probably to happen soon. She also we have started a YouTube channel for her directly. You've possibly seen the video on my YouTube, which is also on hers, of her cooking the chicken adobo. We did get the camera mounts now, and we can set up the tripods properly. The other day we did it with a ladder, which makes her look super tiny and me look like a jolly green giant when I walk in, although she is quite small. I'm under 6 foot and she's 4'8", and I look like the Chamberlain. And she is smaller than Bruce Lee, if you've ever seen that movie. That was a big difference right there. But it's not that big a difference. She comes up to here on me, and I love it. Most amazing woman I've ever dealt with. I am beyond happy. That's it, folks. I can't think of much of anything else to say right now. And I hope I didn't mess myself up, shutting this video down twice. And now I've got to tie it all back together. And this particular phone, is a bit obnoxious with how I put the videos together as far as memory. It's constantly saying, not enough memory, start over. Well, we shall see, and we will post this one. Alright, folks, for those 5 people watching, have a pleasant day, and a nice tomorrow. Or something like that. Like that. You seem to like that phrase here. Like that. When they run out of English, they go to like that. Okay, bye-bye.